Hello and welcome back to another Java episode. Today I'll be teaching you all about the factory design pattern in Java. What is the factory design pattern? It is used when a method returns one of several possible classes that share a common superclass. For our example, we will make a new enemy in a game, and a random number generator picks a number assigned to a specific enemy, and the factory returns the enemy associated with the number, and the class is chosen at runtime. Well, when do you use the factory pattern? When you don't know ahead which class object you need, when all potential classes are in the same hierarchy, to centralize class selection code, and when you don't want the user to know every subclass, and to encapsulate object creation, we use the factory pattern. Now let's see a UML diagram of the factory pattern. As you can see here, this is the UML diagram for the factory pattern. We have a client here, and next we have the factory, which is the enemy ship factory, which makes enemy ships, which are ships that are string ships, and it connects to the abstract enemy ship class, and the name, string name, amount damage, double is followed, and we have the methods follow hero ship, display enemy ship shows, set damage and get damage methods inside the abstract enemy ship, and the UFO enemy ship and the rocket enemy ship implements the enemy ship abstract class. So the UFO enemy ship has a set name and a get name, and the rocket enemy ship also has a set name and a get name. So these classes implement the abstract enemy ship class. The factory pattern allows you to create objects without specifying the exact class of the object that will be created. So here is the factory design pattern, and let's get started with coding, where you will understand about the factory design pattern very easily. First thing, let's go to our project, and next we go to src and select new Java class, and this time the class will be our enemy ship as promised. This will be an abstract class. Inside the enemy ship we'll have a private string name, a private double speed, a private double direction x-axis, and a private double direction y-axis, and we'll have a private double amount damage like this. And next thing, we'll have a public string get name to give a name, and this will return our name. And next thing, we'll have a setter method public void set name. We'll have a string new name inside this, and inside this name will be equal to new name like this. Next we'll have a public double get damage. We should return amount damage like this. And next we'll have a public void setter method set amount damage, which will have a double new damage inside it, and we will say amount damage equals to new damage like this. Next we'll have another method, public void follow ship, and inside it we say we'll s out get name plus is following the hero. Next we'll have a public void display enemy ship, method place, which will say it will s out get name plus is on the screen like this. Next we'll have another method, public void enemy ship shoots, and inside it we'll have an s out saying get name plus attacks and does get damage plus damage to hero like this, and we'll save this. Next thing, we'll make a UFO enemy ship class that extends the enemy ship. This will be a subclass. We say UFO enemy ship, and inside it we'll have a constructor public UFO enemy ship, and we'll use the set name. This UFO enemy ship will extends our enemy ship class abstract class, and here inside it we say set name, and inside the set name we say UFO enemy ship, and we'll have set damage also. It will be 20 damage. And next thing, we'll make another class. This time we'll make a rocket enemy ship. This will also extends enemy ship, and inside it we'll have constructor of rocket enemy ship, and inside it we'll say set name, and we'll call this rocket enemy ship, and we'll have some set amount damage as 10.0. Alrighty, we'll have another class. This time a big UFO enemy ship. This will extend the UFO enemy ship, and inside it we'll have our constructor made, and inside it we say set name, and the name will be big UFO enemy ship, and we have some damage as 40. Next is time to make the enemy ship factory. We'll have a class called enemy ship factory. Inside it, first thing we'll have a public enemy ship make enemy method made, make enemy ship method made, and it will have a string new ship type. And inside it we'll say enemy ship new ship equals to null. And next thing we'll have if condition to check if new ship type dot equals u, and if that's the case we return new UFO enemy ship like this. And now let's have a else condition. The else it will be else if condition, and it will check if new ship type dot equals R, and it will return new rocket enemy ship. Return new rocket enemy ship, and we'll have another else if, and we'll check if new ship type dot equals B, and if that's the case we say return new big UFO enemy ship like this. And after that we'll have a else clause that returns null. That's it for the enemy ship factory Java class. And now we'll make the test class. We'll have a new Java class called enemy ship testing. And inside it we'll have our main method, and inside it first we'll make an enemy ship called the enemy ship which will be equals to null, and we'll have a scanner class placed, scanner user input equals to new scanner and system.in, and we list out what type of ship and we'll have question mark, and inside we'll have some brackets, and inside them we'll have U, R and B. Next thing, we'll have a if condition if user input dot has next line, and if that's the case, we'll have string type of ship made, which will be equal to user input dot next int, user input dot next line, like this, and the enemy will be equal to ship we'll make a ship factory method also. We'll have a enemy ship factory called ship factory equals to new enemy ship factory, and inside this if user input we'll have the enemy equals to factory ship factory dot make enemy, and we'll provide the type of ship to it inside it, and we'll have if condition which checks if the enemy is not equals to null, and if that's the case we'll and if that's the case we'll do stuff enemy next thing we'll make a public static void method do stuff enemy, which will have our enemy ship, and it will be an enemy ship, and inside this method we'll have an enemy ship dot display enemy ship, and we'll have an enemy ship dot follow ship, and an enemy ship dot enemy ship shoots. Okay, next thing, inside the if the enemy is not equals to null, we'll have our do stuff enemy, and here we'll call the enemy like this, and if the else is there we'll say we'll list out please enter U R O B next time, like this. Next thing, we'll have another enemy ship called the enemy. Actually, we'll copy this from here and paste it here like this. Next thing, we have a enemy ship called UFO ship, which will equal to new UFO enemy ship. And we'll do stuff enemy and call the UFO enemy ship. And next thing, let's s out and print \n. And now we'll make a string enemy ship option, which will equal to null. And we'll s out what type of ship, U or R, like this. And next thing, we'll have if user input dot as next line, and if that's the case, we'll have enemy ship option equals to user input dot next line. And next thing, we'll have a if to check if the user input has next line, next thing we'll have a if to check if the enemy ship option equal U, and if that's the case, the enemy will be equal to new UFO enemy ship. And we'll have the else condition now. It will be else if, and it will check if the enemy ship option equals R. Then if that's the case, the enemy will be equal to new rocket enemy ship. And we'll have the else clause. Here the enemy will be equal to new big UFO enemy ship. And finally we'll have do stuff enemy, and we'll return the enemy for it. Alrighty, now we have made our enemy ship testing class for the factory design pattern. We made enemy ship class, UFO enemy ship class, and enemy ship abstract class which connects to these enemy ships, UFO enemy ship, rocket enemy ship, big UFO enemy ship, and we made a ship factory which has the type of enemy ships. And next we made an enemy ship testing class where we use the scanner to get system.in to check out the enemy ship names and methods. So It's time to run this and check the output. Let's run this now. It's asking for the type of enemy ship. For this we'll give U and press enter. Whoa, what happened? Now for U, it returned UFO enemy ship is on the screen. UFO enemy ship is following the hero. UFO enemy ship attacks and does 20 damage to hero. UFO enemy ship is on the screen and UFO enemy ship is following the hero. UFO enemy ship attacks and does 20 damage to hero. Next we'll type R. It returned big UFO enemy ship is on the screen. Big UFO enemy ship is following the hero. Big UFO enemy ship attacks and does 40 damage to hero. So this is how the factory pattern works. We have made the factory design pattern lets you create objects that you need. It encapsulates objects when created. So this is it for our factory design pattern. I have taught you an example for the factory design pattern for you to implement one when you need to know about the factory design pattern. So in the today's lesson I taught you how to make a enemy ship factory for the factory design pattern, and I tested the enemy ship using the enemy ship test class. We use the scanner method also. So this is it for today's lesson, and I'll see you with another lesson another time. Until then, goodbye guys, and please take care.